Speaking of free, LeBron James is giving free content away today as part of his public speaking schedule at Fanatics Fest, New York City. Today at 1:15 p.m., 1:15 p.m., he is hosting a live recording of his Mind the Game podcast. He's also doing another live recording of his podcast on Friday at Fanatics Fest NYC. There's a live recording of The Shop at Friday noon, and then on the Board Gurum's Game Plan Summit, he will be speaking alongside Adam Silver and Kathy Engelbright, the president, CEO, and what is Adam Silver? The president of the NBA? What's his title?
And commissioner.
Commissioner. I don't know why I couldn't
That
think
was
of that.
crazy.
Commissioner. Yeah, I said president. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I was trying to think of how to set up the next transition for Steve. I totally botched that. All you got to know is he's speaking today at 1:15 on his podcast, Mind the Game, with Tyrese Halliburton. Halliburton yesterday tweeted this out. Tomorrow it's time. Could be cryptic. Could simply be it's time to record the podcast we had planned to record at the Fanatics Fest NYC for a couple of weeks now. But Jason, this is the biggest of big public platforms for LeBron James with a built-in audience to make said decision. We know LeBron likes a live audience for these kind of decisions. If you go back to his infamous decision when he joined Miami, do you think today is the day LeBron James makes his free agency decision?
Yeah, I just said during the break, I know enough to know that I know nothing. But yeah, I think today's the day, just because of the timing of it all and the live podcast. And LeBron might even be a better, savvier businessman than he is basketball player. That's a little hyperbole, but he knows how to draw an audience. He knows how to create revenue, and he knows how to own his brand. And this would be yet a different way to announce it. We've done everything from the decision on ESPN to the letter in Sports Illustrated to just a simple press release emailed out that he was going to the Lakers. So he's got to come up with something else. What better way than to do it in front of a live audience? And I think that'd be kind of cool. And is it on YouTube? I've never watched it live. Like, would you watch it on YouTube, or where would you watch it?
Yeah, Mind the Game has its own YouTube page, just like you'd watch the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
Yeah.
You can watch. I'm assuming they're going to stream it live on YouTube. That is what I would do if I was him. Their channel has 900,000 subscribers.
Is there any other platform to do it live?
You could go live wherever you go live on Facebook.
You can go on Twitch.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. You could go live anywhere.
My boomer side is showing it. I don't know anything about it.
So it's called the internet. It's this wild place.
Yeah, like,
you can find a lot of weird stuff.
You dial up through AOL.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But you can't use the phone at the same time. That's the only caveat.
What's sad is there's a whole group of people watching right now that went way over their
Like,
heads.
whoa,
Like, what do you mean you can't use the phone while you're on the internet?
What are you talking about? These guys are nuts, man. Like, he does a really good job of, because he also was at Jay-Z's New York Yankee Stadium show, where everybody in the culture and the music industry, from Rihanna to Beyonce to, I even think Donovan Mitchell was there.
Yeah, Don was there.
He was there.
Don was there as well. That is correct.
So all of these people, like, he's doing it the right way. I'm going on vacation here in a couple days, and I'm still trying to plan my content like this. I'm like, I got to go to this restaurant. I got to go to this. I got to at least sightsee. He's doing it in a way. It is so calculated and brilliant, because he was in Miami. Well, no, lo and behold, he was, that was a finals.
With Draymond Green.
With Draymond, right?
Ooh.
And Draymond is pitching it. And then, Rich Paul is doing a podcast, and he has the whiteboard out like, yeah, now listen, Weems, that's like his brother, which you didn't know.
And then he's seen with Weems in Akron.
And crazy, he doing karaoke. So this, to me, I'll ask you this, Chris. If he is doing this on TV and he is telling where he's going to go, would that be considered almost like a decision part two? Because if, say, for instance, he's doing a decision 2, and it comes out that Cleveland is still waiting on whether or not we're going to know on Today Live if he's coming back, that seems eerily crazy to kind of do if you know you're not coming here, right?
Here's why I think it's happening today, because he is so savvy and with the content, and he's played this brilliantly. I mean, the NBA is at a standstill waiting for him to make his decision. but we have reached the apex of this. And the longer this goes, the more people are going to get annoyed.
Yes.
And if they watch a whole hour-long podcast waiting for him to decide and he gives them nothing, people are going to be furious. And it will be like a decision two. I think he learned from decision one, which is why he hasn't put out, tune into my podcast on Thursday.
Right.
I'm going to decide then. He's leaving it up in the air. It's going to seem like it's more of an organic announcement. But yeah, I think we're going to get something today. I hope it's a decision because I'm running out of things to say about waiting for the decision. But at the very minimum, I think we'll have, I'll let you guys know by the weekend or something like that, because it has to happen soon. The NBA's at a standstill. Players are waiting on contracts. Teams are waiting to know who they're going to have on their roster. It needs to come to an end. He's savvy enough to know that, Jason. And I think that he's going to do it.
Yeah, and the other part you said about, like, would he really do this again on a live show and not choose Cleveland? Well, yeah, he could. But I would be a little surprised just because, you know, I mentioned before, I do think that there was some regret with how the decision went down with him and the way that it was viewed here. And I just, if he wasn't choosing Cleveland, I tend to think that message would have gotten out by now. And it really hasn't. So I will be surprised. Again, no inside knowledge on this whatsoever. I expect him, I think he's coming here. And I would be surprised if he doesn't, just because of how this has played out up to this point.
But did you ask Steve Kerr at the traffic light coming in?
Yeah,
Because apparently Steve Kerr knows, guys.
yeah, that would be tough for me because it would be obviously out of all of the people in the world, out of all the other teams, the people that care the most are Cavs fans.
Yeah.
The people that are emotionally invested
Are here.
The rest of those teams, let's be clear. Draymond Green is not emotionally invested in LeBron James playing.
Sure.
He's emotionally invested in Steph Curry. Miami is not emotionally invested. They just got Giannis. They could care less. The Cavs, if you watch these photos right here, these people literally, it means something to them. So for you to say, okay, well, let me do my podcast, and I'm going to choose Golden State arbitrarily, people would be in their feelings. They really would.
Yeah, I had to pre-write something for The Athletic and the New York Times if he comes back. So I have a column in the Chamber if he picks Cleveland. And that was one of the things I said was when he went to Miami, he was a mercenary. Like, he was a hired mercenary. They didn't care about him. It was bring us our titles. And when he left, they're like, all right, cool. Like, nobody really cared. Did anyone even notice?
They went to the beach.
Outside of Dwayne and Pat Riley, did anybody even notice they left Miami?
No.
And then he went to L.A. and they were like, what are you doing here? He was almost treated like a squatter. Like he was trespassing.
It was crazier because after Kobe untimely passed away, it got worse.
Yeah, I thought it would get... I honestly thought the speech he gave when Kobe died would be the moment that broke down the wall and he would be accepted by the Lakers. And it never... He chased a ghost in Kobe he was never going to catch in L.A. And finally, he just quit running. He's like, all right, screw it. So that's why, again, I'd be surprised if it's not here. But, you know, when this whole thing started, I told you guys how much he used to talk about how much he liked Golden State and just the respect that he had for the organization. And he loved everything that they did and that they stood for and the way that they operated. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if it is Golden State, just because I think in his mind enough time has passed from 2018 until now. You know, 8 years is a career in the NBA for most normal people, most normal humans. So I think he's looking at, like, if that's where he goes, of I'm just going to go have fun. I've always admired this organization. I want to see what it's like to play with Steph for a year.
I really wonder, with going into this decision, how much is sticking the landing, because Jordan did not stick the landing. Mm-hmm. He was fine with the Wizards, but he wasn't Michael Jordan. They didn't win. LeBron goes to Golden State. That team doesn't win. Is it going to be a Jordan in a Wizards kind of moment? If he comes back to Cleveland, okay, cool. You stick the landing, whether you win or not. It's a storybook ending. You put a bow on it. You do the documentary. You go off into the sunset, wait to become an owner and a Hall of Famer. You go to Philly, you don't win, they're going to run you out of town. Mm-hmm. You didn't stick the landing. You go to Miami, okay, yeah, you can kind of stick the landing. You might win there. That's why I think all signs point to Cleveland. And the longer this goes, the more you go, okay, I don't know if he's going to stick the landing. If this goes into August and we're in training camp and like, all right, we still haven't, I don't think it's going to go that long, but if we're nearing training camp, the NFL is about to take over and we still don't know where LeBron's going. It's got to end here soon, and he's got to make the right decision, and I think Cleveland is that right decision.
It's the perfect storm. We talked about it before, and I think I asked Jason this question. I said, does the way the season ended for the Cleveland Cavaliers have a role in the way LeBron looks at it? And I actually think it did. He can't go somewhere where it's perceived as you just are going to the best roster and you want to ring.
Well, that was the Knicks thing
Right.
that Rich Paul said. If the Knicks didn't win, he was going to New York.
So that's off the table. You can't look like, okay, well, I just went. Ask Kevin Durant the way it worked when he went and played with Golden State and Steph Curry. He don't get no credit for none of them rings, even though he was probably at the time one of the best player in the world for Golden State at that time. He don't get no credit for it. So I don't think LeBron, he's not going to get credit if they do win there. But if he comes back to Cleveland and the Cavs got swept, and it looked like they need somebody to get him over the hump. And if he wins here, I keep trying to tell him, I hope he realizes it. You can still catch Jordan. For some people, that ship has sailed. But let me tell you something. If you stick the landing, as you say, in the right place at the right time, when people wrote you off, people don't think LeBron's winning no more rings. They wrote you off. They think you got the scoring title. They've forgotten about you. If you want to be relevant, and you want to really get back into that conversation, I really, truly believe that this will be looked at as, especially if he plays a bunch of games and the Cavs, he's the reason the Cavs are elevating and beating a good team. I think that changes the way some people look at him, Jason.
It could. I mean, he's already, to me, the greatest of all time. But
too.
I'm biased.
Yeah.
I freely admit I'm biased on it. But I don't know how you can punish him for dragging that first Cavs team to the finals. Why does he get punished for that?
Yeah, I know.
And the one you can put on him is Miami against Dallas.
Yeah,
that's on him.
Yep.
That's his fault, and he's got to wear that. But short of that, I think he's been remarkable.